severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. As the sturgeon spearing season is quickly approaching, those who harvest this prehistoric fish will once again experience drive-through registration.
And as the Department of Natural Resources tells Fox 11 Eric Peterson, the continued pandemic is behind the move.
At the Grunman Lane Landing on Lake Winnebago, crews were busy putting the finishing touches on the portable shanty here. For the second straight year, the drive-through is the only way to go.
They'll be at the same alternate locations as the 2021 season. We're going to have the contactless drive-through again this season just to make sure everybody is safe through the process. It's basically just because we're seeing the COVID-19 pandemic still going on.
DNR senior fisheries biologist Aaron O'Connell says 9 stations are set up around the Lake Winnebago system. Fisheries staff will take the sturgeon from the vehicle, record the weight, length, and sex of the fish before returning it to the spearer.
We will have plenty of signs and cones out at registration stations so that successful spearers will be able to follow the process easily.
Some locations include boat landings and other public places like Marble Park in Winneconne. The site is a couple blocks from Critters Wolf River Sports.
Sturgeon spearing this summer is like opening day for deer hunting. It's an exciting time.
Chris Busher is the owner.
With COVID sticking around, I can understand the reasoning for the DNR taking a precaution to not have the weigh-in station here.
But Kessie Clark disagrees. She says Critters parking lot is typically a very busy place during the sturgeon season.
For me, being a spearer myself, I think that you wait how many years to get a fish? Some guys wait 20 years. Doing a drive-through beats the purpose of how excited you are. You want to show your fish off. Yeah. And being able to show your fish off, not through a drive-through, it's not exciting.
This parking lot may be a little quieter this season, but
I'd like to think that we're going to go back to having the weigh-in station in public areas where people can celebrate it.
I sure hope so. I hope so. I hope next year we're be able to see everybody's fish and stand out there and hoot and holler for them.
The DNR says future station locations are still up in the air.
And that's something that we're hoping to get back to as well.
So next year's still way too far.
Correct, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's something we'll be, looking at year by year at this point.
In Winneconne, Eric Peterson, Fox 11 News.
The season begins Saturday morning at 7 and runs 16 days or until the safe harvest caps are reached. And remember, the ice is never considered 100% safe. Check out this video posted by Sunk Dive and Ice Service. This was a retrieval of a sunken pickup truck yesterday on Lake Winnebago near Fond du Lac. The service says the driver of the truck wasn't paying attention and drove in a crack.
Oh, that's never fun. Well, today's mild weather wasn't exactly ideal ice-making weather either. Fox 11's meteorologist Phil DeCastro is joining us now live from outside on the ice desk. Not a bad day, Phil, but you were down at Lake Winnebago talking to some hopeful spearers about the weather.
Yeah, Michelle, that's right. Today was not the best day for making ice. We went down to the northern end of Lake Winnebago. And, the people that we talked to that were coming and going from the ice, well, not too many of them were too worried about the mild weather that we saw today. The view of Lake Winnebago from Waverly Beach in Calumet County was full of shanties and trucks on Tuesday afternoon. And ahead of the sturgeon spearing opener this weekend, it will likely only get busier. The weather on Tuesday also warmed up a little. But of the half dozen people we talked to, nobody seemed very worried.
With how cold it's been lately, not really. If it's only a day or two, that won't affect the lake at all. But it's kind of when it's a long run of warm weather that you'll start seeing stuff happening.
Bob Bergheis is hoping to nab his second sturgeon in 3 years this weekend, and he said he's glad the weather isn't too bitterly cold ahead of the season, but he'll need to bundle up once the season starts on Saturday. While the weather in the few days leading up to the sturgeon spearing season won't be too chilly at all, at least not during the day, winter is going to give us a rude reminder that it's not done yet on Saturday. Right now, it looks like the high on Saturday may only get back up into the low teens under partly cloudy skies. Factor in a little bit of a northwesterly breeze. might feel like near zero throughout the day. Now, Sunday doesn't look quite as bitterly cold, but with a high of 20, it means it's still going to be on the chilly side. And there's actually also a chance for some light snow showers to move through as we close out the first weekend as well. So even if we do have a little mild weather leading up to this weekend, there will be no such concerns about it being too warm once the weekend arrives. You know, the things that tend to really mess with an ice pack are when the overnight lows also stay up above freezing and when you start to get rain on top of that ice. And thankfully, we don't have either of those things in the forecast leading up to this weekend.
And that is a good thing for Spears. Thanks, Phil. And when you get your sturgeon, we'd like to see it. Check out this sturgeon from last year. You can share a photo or video with us. Head to fox11online.com and click on Chime In the menu, then follow the instructions to upload your submission.
A school in Appleton is